Zachary. Oh, how I love you, Zachary.
What's up, Eduardo?
I write poems now.
I write haikus. Is that the same thing?
Are you allowed to say that?
I don't know. At the poker table last night, they did tell me that everything that I would say would not be considered kosher, but they could say whatever they wanted because they were from the Philippines. No, they're from Vietnam. The other guy was from the Philippines.
So kosher means you can't eat it on Sunday? Like, I'm confused. Or when's
Oh, man.
Sabbath? Mondays?
Dude, I don't know. He said kosher. I thought it was something that they did.
I don't know. I've heard that for 36 years. Couldn't tell you what the fuck it means.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the bacon that you're eating is not kosher.
Why you hating on my bacon? Why you got to bring my bacon into this,
Whoa,
man?
whoa, whoa, whoa. That is a strong assumption there, sir. I am not hating on the bacon.
You can't be hating me on my bacon.
No. I've had bacon 2 consecutive meals today, sir. I'm good with bacon.
This is my second pound of bacon. What's up? Yeah.
Your colon must hate you.
Oh, my heart is in another world right now. But you bring up my colon, so
Shit, I didn't mean to.
pre-game before every podcast, I take a dump. All right.
All right.
Full disclosure. Anybody who was wondering, what does Ed do prior to a podcast? I take a shit. Okay. So now you know. Mystery solved, Carmen Sandiego. Have you ever taken a shit to where it's almost like an out-of-body experience?
I need a little more context.
So I'm crapping and I'm on my phone, TikToking and whatnot. And the poop coming out almost felt like a full body cleanse to where my soul left, perched up on the door and watched down and goes, something magical is happening right now. And like, you hear people talk about, man, I just took a dump and I felt lighter. I 110% felt lighter. I felt like a new being. I felt like I should go try to walk on water for a minute, for a quick minute, but then I rewind it and go, hold up, I'm not at that level.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, where you get one and it's like, you know what? I feel better, right? But like, I don't even know what to do with that information.
This one had like almost like magical proportions to it. Like, I've never experienced a shit like this to where I was so happy when I got off. I could have cried.
I'm a little uncomfortable that I'm having to share the shit with you.
Maybe it's the bacon. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what I would point to. The bacon. I mean, it's
Bro,
probably helping it to exit.
it's so good. I love bacon.
I'm just shocked at how much bacon you've consumed, and we've only been recording for like 2-3 minutes.
Well, so full disclosure, the wife's not home this weekend, so
Oh
it's just me and the little one. I'm chowing down on bacon.
man, well, she doesn't even have. Well, I guess she's got teeth, but
Oh no, she's not. She has not shown her keep yet to get bacon.
oh, okay.
She's only a year and a half old.
Yeah, you got to earn it.
Absolutely,
So,
this shit ain't free.
what
Well,
what
this package is
qualifies
free.
what qualifies earning the bacon? You fold like a fitted sheet, or what?
No, you don't ask for bacon when it's cooked. If you can show holding back from temptation when it comes to bacon, as a young one, of course, that shows you really want this, but you know it's rude to be like, Dad, can I have some of that? Mm-mm.
So you got to act like you don't want it to get it.
Do you give every homeless person $1?
I don't give any homeless person $1.
You've never randomly just seen somebody who you knew they were down on their luck or whatever. They didn't ask you, you just threw them a couple something.
No, because I don't like to assume.
Well, you're a bad person, sir.
No, I've seen a lot of movies where somebody's like, "Hey, here's $1," and they're like, "I'm not fucking homeless. I'm just tired."
If I'm out there and somebody just hands me $1 because they think I'm homeless, okay, I'm $1 richer. Thank you. Have a good day. Be blessed.
I
or
guess.
whatever the fuck they say. No.
I don't know. I mean, I try to avoid homeless people. I don't make eye contact. I don't walk on the same side of the street as them. Like at stoplights, I'll always like when I'm pulling up and they make eye contact with me, I'm always like on the steering wheel, like like I don't look at them after that.
Bro, joke. No joke. I'm going to tell you a story that traumatized me.
Okay.
And it's only that a homeless person was involved. They didn't do anything. I'm super young. I go to San Antonio to see my brothers, right? They're
Okay.
older than me, 10, 15 years, whatever. In the car with my oldest brother and his wife, they see a homeless person. They quickly turn into a Wendy's. All right. I'm like, fuck yeah, we about to get some Wendy's? Yeah. They order 1 meal. I was like, well, that's bullshit. They didn't even ask me if I wanted anything. Hello, y'all just picked me up. I'm right here in the back seat. They picked it up and gave it to the homeless man. Great gesture, right? Whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty nice actually.
My bitch ass is hungry thinking that we're about to get Wendy's. I was mad. I didn't talk to him for the rest of the day.
How old were you?
I don't know. 32?
I
No.
was all expecting like 16. Like,
No, I was probably like 12.
oh, well, I mean that makes sense. Like you don't understand really when you're 12.
I kind of wish I was 32 when that happened though.
Well, it makes it funnier that you were 32 in the joke you told me.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, that motherfucker's not getting a Christmas card.
No, fam. No, not this time. So, continuing on with tradition, I apologize while I'm eating, but this bacon is so delicious.
That's fine, man. Do you?
Would you rather?
Ooh, I am interested.
Would you rather control water or fire?
Oh shit.
Go ahead and let that one soak in for a minute.
No, I mean I'm thinking water.
Now,
There's a hell of a lot more water.
you cannot create water, you cannot create fire, but if you have a lighter, you have fire. If it rains, you have water. I'm going to go ahead and assume because of your urine does contain water in it for the most part. But also, what do they say about your body? How much are you made of water?
Like 89% or something.
So does that mean you
crazy
control
water.
people?
I would imagine you could control the water in that person.
Right.
I was just thinking, remember that scene in Me, Myself, and Irene when he takes that pill and he's like, it gives me cotton mouth, and his whole mouth is like curled back. Like, could you imagine just like you could, since you can control water, you could just make them have like cotton mouth or make them piss themselves or something.
You just suck the water out of somebody?
Yeah, make them
Dude,
sweat profusely.
that is a power I don't know if people should have.
What, I mean, obviously, no one has that power, but
That we know of.
okay, true. But I mean, we don't live in like the X-Men world or some shit.
Or do we?
We don't.
Have you seen Greg Abbott? Professor X.
He's not even bald.
He could be.
And then you walk away on your legs, you selfish bastard.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
I mean, dude, I don't know. Like, okay, so speaking of movies, I took the youngest son. My wife took the other two kids. They went shopping. So me and my youngest son, we went to the movie theater. I hadn't been to the movie theater in like fucking 2 years, probably.
They're still the same. That's fucking crazy.
Actually, this one was better. So we went to the ghetto side of town to watch a movie, and it was like side by side recliners, and then a space, and then side by side recliners, and it was Dolby surround sound with like the one that's like extra dark, so it's like a full black color on the screen as opposed
Nice.
to like dude. It was crazy, but we went and saw Black Widow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it wasn't my choice of the movie. He picked
Was it
the
though?
movie. No, he picked the movie. I was
You
like,
were
hey,
kind of
buddy.
hoping he would pick that?
Well, I mean, yeah, of course, right? It's Scarlett Johansson,
That,
and
enough
she
said. Enough
speaks
said.
Russian.
Enough said.
I'm done.
Enough said.
I
I've
wore
already
2
busted
pair of
twice.
pants.
I've already busted twice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wore 2 pair of pants. Make sure we're good. But now, full disclosure, she has a sister in the movie. Super hot. No, I mean, they're sisters.
Oh man!
Not scissors. Sisters.
Oh, I thought you said they scissor.
No, I'm pretty sure they didn't. That might have been a dream. Nah, they didn't do it in the movie.
I'm gonna go to Reddit. Reddit never lies,
dude. But they both speak Russian. Super hot. I didn't know that was a thing. Like, I didn't know that I was into that. And then I heard it, and I was just like, why am I as hard as a diamond in an ice storm?
I didn't know Russian was a thing.
No. I meant, like, I didn't know that it was like a turn on. I had no idea.
So you're moving to Russia is what you're telling me.
I mean, I don't know how I could tell my wife and kids that I have to move to Russia. That's pretty stupid.
Hey, got a job in Russia.
No, just so you know, like, now my search stuff on the hub is Russian. It's not that bad. Every once in a while you get the weird one with a dog. You just got to skip past that.
Once you get past page 49, like, you go into some, like, brand new stuff.
Yeah.
It's not even connected to what you typed in.
No, I noticed that too. Like, you put in, like, search criteria, right? And you're like, 18 to 40, red hair, like big boobs, nice ass. And then, like,
you found out an application?
Yeah, of course. I'm very picky. But now I have to click Russian, which I didn't know that was a category. But it is. It's phenomenal.
Well, I've got homework tonight.
Hey, look, I aim to please, man. And I don't keep all this stuff for myself. I give it away to the people.
And the people love you for it.
Well, you know what? You're welcome.
Dude, let's get this shit going. You ready?
Yeah, I feel like we need to talk some sports.
Hit it!
Woo!
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Two Wannabe Athletes Talk Sports. I am Ed.
I'm Zach.
And here we are again, assholes. We're back again for another train wreck episode to shit on your soul and make you question, why do you listen? Because you love us.
You don't, it's like a train wreck. You don't want to look, but you have to look.
But you looking.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all the motherfuckers who are driving down the freeway and y'all see an accident and y'all slow down when you know you shouldn't be, but you slow down, you looking.
Dude, ooh, I hate that. There's a wreck on one side of the freeway. You're on the opposite side of the freeway. Motherfuckers are slowing down to look at that wreck. Like, hey, it's not even in front of you. Just go.
It is what it is.
Oh,
bro. So as usual, the sports world is a clusterfuck right now with really nothing going on except for baseball.
Yeah.
Seattle got a new hockey team with the Krakens. They had the draft there. NBA finals are over with. The Milwaukee Bucks won that shit. Nobody cares. Football has been like on everybody's fucking radar lately.
I mean, it's coming right around the corner, so you got to kind of
got
the stories.
We got 3 days till training camp.
See?
12 days till our first preseason game. 47 days until week 1 starts of the 2021 NFL season.
Man.
Everybody else should get chills right now.
I'm glad I'm wearing workout pants. I wouldn't have been able to fit in there.
So, one of the hot topics right now with the NFL is COVID, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
A majority, I hate that, like, we went on this stretch where we didn't have to talk about COVID. Fucking COVID, dude. Here we are again. Roger Goodell has come out and made it to where any unvaccinated player, and I'm paraphrasing, any unvaccinated player break COVID protocol will be fined $15,000.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, I heard that any team that doesn't meet the vaccine protocol or the vaccine threshold, and then anybody that violates the protocol, it could force your team to forfeit.
Yes. So if it makes your team not have enough players to participate in a game, which we saw many times this past season with the Ravens and the Broncos and multiple other teams.
Well, now, mind you, the Ravens, they gave them extra days, but the Broncos, they're like, no, fuck you. You got to play with a wide receiver.
Yeah, we talked about that. Straight bullshit,
assholes.
Right?
Anyway, yeah.
But now it's to the point to where if you don't have enough people to play, you forfeit. You get an L for that game. Sorry about your luck.
That's freaking
Um,
garbage.
they are being very strict on this, and it's almost seems like they're mandating that players get vaccinated against their will, right?
Yeah.
You want to play, you don't want to wear a mask, you don't want to have to be 6 feet away from somebody on the sidelines, go get that shot. A lot of players are against the shot for whatever reason their beliefs are, which they're allowed to do, right? Just like
100%.
any other person in the world.
Right. And that's what I have a hard time with. Is like I don't want to go political on it. I don't care what side of it you're on. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, I don't even
But
think it comes down to a political point. I think it just comes to, do you want to put an unknown substance into your body, or do you want to put something that is potentially going to block this deathly causing virus?
well, I mean, I don't mean to make it political, but I mean nowadays crossing the street is fucking
Right.
political.
If
So
you shit the wrong way, it's
exactly. So
political.
I'm just saying I'm not going down that avenue. I'm just, and because I don't care what your politics are. My thing is these guys are athletes.
Right.
Their whole job is based on keeping their body in the utmost like tip top physical condition. And like there are a lot of question marks for the vaccine,
Yep.
right? Which I don't know. I don't know what to believe. The problem with me is you're mandating somebody to get a vaccine that technically hasn't been fully approved by the FDA or the CDC or whoever, whatever government entity has to approve it. They've got, oh, excuse me, they've got like an emergency approval,
Right.
but it's not full blown. And you know, I understand that the government wants you to get it, and like the CDC wants you to get it or whatever, but they can't force you. Like there's no way they can just go, hey, we pass a law, you have to get this vaccine. That's not how that works, right?
Right.
But yeah, the NFL is taking a more rigid stance, saying that basically, if you want to play in our sport, you've got to get this vaccine that we don't know a lot about.
This is a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bold
Like
strategy. We'll see how that plays out.
there are a couple of players that have been voicing their opinions on it, and the number one that shocked the world for the most part was DeAndre Hopkins for the Arizona Cardinals. He came out with a tweet pretty much saying he may retire. You know, he doesn't want to upset his team or anything like that, but this is going to be the first time in his career where he may have to, because he doesn't want to get vaccinated.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a devastating blow to the Mile High Salute, my fantasy football team. He is my number 2 wide receiver, and I need him to fucking play.
That's going to
And
be a huge hit to the entire NFL, because in all
wait,
around, I
whoa,
think,
whoa, whoa, fuck the NFL. We're talking about me.
fuck you and your
No, I
team.
mean, I'm with you. How are we going to let someone that is Roger Goodell, that basically has no power unless Jesse or Jerry Jones lets him have it? How are we going to have him be forcing players like DeAndre Hopkins out of the league?
And see,
Like,
that
what the
that brings up,
hell?
he's not only a leader of his team. I feel like he is one of the top tier NFL players that is like the face of the NFL. You look at the
Yes.
story with his mom and what he does every time he scores a touchdown. He finds her, gives her the ball. His whole upbringing, the shit he dealt with Houston. Now he's in Arizona. Just all around great player, great guy. He's coming out and saying, Roger, fuck you, dude. You can't make me do
No.
this, right?
Well, I mean, technically, so different. Technically, he can, right?
True.
What I don't understand though is that in this dispute, where do the owners fall, and where does the players union, the players association fall? Because I feel like if I'm the Arizona Cardinals owner, I want Hopkins on the field. I made the trade
True.
for him to play. I'm paying
True.
him to play. I'm not paying him to take a vaccine, right? If the idea is, you know, we want to make sure that other players in the NFL are protected. If he doesn't want to take a vaccine, but he's only around his players,
Yep.
right? And the players that are getting the vaccine, or the players on his team are getting a vaccine, then no one should be worried about him getting it.
And that goes into the point, if the NFL is still practicing the same practices that they had before during COVID, during the regular season, to where you're testing every day, you're doing tests once you get to the stadium, this and that. All your players that are unvaccinated, as long as you stick to that, you'll be fine,
Right.
right?
I feel like that too. And I feel like it's not like he's a rookie where he doesn't have a lot of money or he's like going to be living with his parents or anything like that. He's got plenty of
But
money. He's got a house. He can isolate himself. He can
in a
be,
in a
around.
way though, it's almost like you're singling these guys out.
Yeah. It's
And that's the bullshit part of it. Both of us being from the Houston area, we've recently saw the case with one of the major hospitals in the area to where they mandated that all their staff members get vaccinated to work there. They went to court, they lost, so they either got vaccinated or they got a new job, right?
right.
This is tiptoeing that same thing to an extent, and I don't agree with it because you're going against free will. All right.
Well, but so I like on a personal level, yeah, I disagree with it also. But I feel like on the same side of that token, um, your your employer can almost dictate what you do and what you don't do, right? So,
True.
you have to certain jobs you have to take a drug test before you're hired. You get randomly drug tested while you're employed. There are certain things that a job can mandate. I guess what I'm saying is that, like the nurses or whatever, they don't have a players association and an owner that can step in and say, hey, that's bullshit. I don't want to be a part of that.
Right.
So, and I feel like that's what eventually will happen. I feel like the players, like the union, will step out and say, hey, you know what? We're going to support our players. We're going to support the choices that they want to make. And then it'll turn into a collective bargaining agreement. We might have a freaking strike over it if it's too many players.
And that's going to be a crazy thing, right? Like you brought up earlier, what are the owners' takes on it and stuff like that. Honestly, I think the owners don't care. The
I don't think
owners
they
are,
do either.
I think they're more worried about, hey, we're about to get to 100% capacity in these stadiums. Let's just rake in every dog. Hot dogs now are $17.
You saw
So
Jerry Jones did a press conference with,
is he still alive?
yeah, I mean, he lives on embalming fluid. Most people drink Ensure. He just drinks embalming fluid. No big deal. But, yeah, he came out in the press conference basically saying, like, yeah, I mean, if you want to get the vaccine, get the vaccine. If you don't want to get it, don't get it. I don't give a shit. Just show up to our games. And I don't
That's all
mean
that
them.
matters.
Well, he goes, I don't mean them preseason games. I mean them home regular season games. I was like, you, what's the dude from The Simpsons, the decrepit old guy? What's his name?
Mr. Burns,
Yeah, I was like, you, Mr. Burns, acting old ass motherfucker. Give me that money.
he's just
I want me
old.
some more glory hole. That dude he's something else, man. I will admit that if I was single, I would totally party with that dude.
Oh, no doubt, because he's got the best Coke.
He's got the best of everything, and if he doesn't, he'll just buy it.
Oh man.
So we're gonna transition from DeAndre
Please.
Hopkins and then the Cowboys to the other team in Texas, Houston. A little rumbling I heard. I'm gonna preface it with it comes from a guy who writes a blog for the Philadelphia Eagles, so it might be jaded a little bit, but
What's his
he
name?
is his name is Brandon Grouton. No, Gouton. Brandon Gouton. He writes for Bleeding Green Nation, and he is suggesting that not only will not DeAndre Hopkins,
Baseball.
not only will Deshaun Watson be traded, but he will also be traded to the Philadelphia Eagles.
How do you spell his last name?
Gowton.
Brandon Gowan.
Yeah, so he's
He has a check mark, sir, so he's legit.
right. That's what I'm saying. He's certified by Twitter, whatever that means. But my thing is though is that he's going to have a jaded perspective because he writes for the Eagles.
True.
So and it's not like he writes for like the newspaper in Philadelphia or even the ESPN station in Philadelphia. He just writes a blog. So
Right.
It's more of like a fan page. Pretty cool. Like, I'm not trying to knock him. That's going out the wrong way. I'm
Yeah,
not
we don't even
knocking
have a
him. What
check
I'm
mark.
saying is that he's not reporting it like it's gonna happen. This is a breaking story. Adam Schefter's tweeting it out. This is what he believes is gonna happen. He does cite some that he got some inside information. He doesn't disclose his source, but he just says that he got some information, some inside information from the organization that they are going to move to get Deshaun Watson.
I'm not mad about it because of the fact that Philly has a lot to offer. If I'm not mistaken, they have 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, in the article that he wrote, it says that they acquired a first round pick this season from Miami, so they have 3 first round picks in their back pocket.
So I actually like this scenario. I really do. And if Nick Caserio is listening, because I know he does, he's a fan of ours. He tweets us all the time, the GM for the Texans. If he's listening right now, and if this deal comes up as I'm about to present it, you don't hesitate. You take it.
Okay.
3 first rounds and Jalen Hurts. Take it. Okay. Here's why.
I'm not faulting. I'm already with you.
Texans are going to get dead last this season. Between them and Jacksonville or the Jets, one of them are going to get the number 1 pick next year. Philly's not too far off from there. Putting Deshaun Watson on the Philadelphia Eagles does not make that much better of a team. They still have nothing to throw to because Zach Ertz is still in the possibly getting traded, going somewhere else. So there goes your number 1 person. Who do you got in the backfield? Miles Sanders. You might have him. Being a
they have that Jalen Reagor guy. He's pretty.
Jalen Reagor, I had a lot of hopes for him coming into this year, coming out of where did he come from? TCU.
Honestly, I don't know. I blank on his freaking college, but they
I had
drafted
hopes for him, but
Smith too.
he got injured, and then towards the end of the season, if I remember correctly, he came back and put up some okay numbers, but nothing to be like, okay, he's serious.
Yeah, but I mean, they drafted Devontae Smith too, so I mean that's
that is
pretty
true.
good
I forgot
addition.
we went through a draft.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll put that one in the pocket.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to
No,
stop
but-
your thunder there. I'm just saying that they have some potential. It's not a complete dumpster fire, but it is a stretch, I think, to say that Deshaun Watson fixes a lot of the issues that are going on with Philadelphia.
Right. Like he's not the missing link to be like, oh, they're Super Bowl contenders again. Right.
Right. I'm not on board with that at all.
Saying all that,
Zach Ertz possibly being traded and your top tight end is Dallas Goedert. I just don't see that.
So saying all that, Philly is going to be within the top 10 of next year's draft.
Yeah.
So you get all 3 of their first round picks, whether it be all 3 for 2022 season, you have 4 first round picks. You have a good hold. You have trade value to move up in the draft if you need to. You have trade value to go get some other big time players. Like you have endless opportunities with even having Jalen Hurts. If you have so much faith in David or whatever the quarterback they drafted this past year from Stanford, David Mills.
Davis Mills, that's right.
If you have enough confidence in him, you have Jalen Hurts to trade. You have Tyrod Taylor, who's not a quarterback that you should just be like, oh, he's Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like, other than a collapsed lung, he's an okay quarterback that can get you probably 6 wins, right?
He's a very capable quarterback. I think he's very underrated.
So that right there, that scenario of 3 first round picks and Jalen Hurts gives the Texans so much momentum to make that team go from trash to being an AFC South contender. All right. So hear me out on that.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I was just thinking in my head, potentially, right? They could suck so bad they get the number 1 pick overall next year.
Correct.
Right? And then if they make this trade for Deshaun Watson, it's possible they could have the number 2 pick in the draft as well. Right? And then you have 2 more picks in the first round. If you trade those picks, it's possible that you could pick first 3 picks in the draft.
And that's never been done.
No,
I don't even think
anybody's had the first 2. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that opens up a lot of possibilities. Now, granted, there have been a lot of fuck-ups on the first pick. I mean, typically, drafting a quarterback is like a 50% proposition. So, that's an issue that they would have to address. I mean, if Jalen Hurts is the guy, right? You trade for Jalen Hurts and you get 3 first-round picks, and he turns out to be a stud. Well, hell, now you've got your number one quarterback that you don't need to try to draft, and then you can use those draft picks to fix the fucking holes on that team. And maybe you're a legitimate contender by the time you have to pay Jalen Hurts a full-on quarterback contract.
Here's the kick in the dick, though. All right, Zach, I want you to role play with me. I want you to be Nick Casario.
Okay. I like role playing.
Or Nick Casario, however you pronounce it.
Do I need my belt or a whip?
Do you have the gag?
Oh, no, I have it in the washing machine.
Next time.
Sorry.
You just got done with your very first season as your first time being a GM. You've been handed 3 first-round picks along with your first-round pick that you already possess. You're the number 1 pick. Do you want the stress of having the first 3 picks?
No.
Exactly. So that won't ever happen.
No.
Because you put everything into the basket right there. You put your kids in the baskets on that one, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you bomb on 2, like let's just say
2 out of 3.
For sake of argument, yeah, you suck on 2 or 3 picks, you're fired.
You're done. You're never working in the NFL.
And I don't know if you ever get back into the NFL.
XFL and Canadian are not hollering at you either. You're not even going to. Nick Saban can't save your ass.
No, he saves a lot of people.
Right. So unless Nick Casario just has balls of steel to where he just think about it though. Think about if he was to do that. All the scenario that we're throwing out there. Let's say Deshaun's traded, first 3 draft picks. He nails all 3 draft picks. The very first 3. He would go down.
Probably the first one in line to suck him off is probably what's going to happen.
He would immediately go into the Hall of Fame. He would immediately.
No, he would go into the Texans Hall of Fame.
You don't think he would go into the NFL Hall of Fame? They let Jerry Jones into there.
Well, because Jerry Jones fucking bought it.
You're not wrong.
I mean, come on, that dude. If he can't get it on his own, he just pays for it. That's his MO.
Oh, I don't know. Like I like the idea of Philly. Now the other kick in the dick again is Philly on Deshaun's list? Remember, no trade clause.
True. Oh, I didn't think about that.
No trade clause.
Well, so the only teams we ever heard about
was Miami and Carolina.
Miami, Carolina, and then there's still rumblings about Denver every once in a while.
And I've heard New Orleans too, and I think that's a crock of shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Only thing I can think about with the New Orleans thing is just because Drew Brees retired.
Right.
And so they're just like, oh, quarterback opening, maybe they'll trade for him. But yeah, he's got the no trade clause. So I feel like with the no trade clause, I mean, New Orleans, okay, so New Orleans with Drew Brees was a very good team. But I feel like Drew Brees or like Tom Brady or maybe even Aaron Rodgers are the only quarterbacks that are capable of holding a roster like that together for 12 or 13 wins. And I don't think it's ability there. I think it's like the respect that those guys command.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Deshaun Watson has enough skins hanging on the wall.
He has none.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if he can walk into a team where like Sean Payton's the coach and they won a Super Bowl. I don't think he can walk in and just people gravitate towards him. That I just don't, unless he gets the blessing of Drew Brees, right? I just don't see that happening.
Well, he's got raw talent. I'm not taking anything away from Deshaun Watson's performance, right?
He is definitely a franchise quarterback that's 25 years old. He is a hot commodity.
Absolutely. It's the fact that can he go in there to a seasoned offense and just say, yo, this is how we're doing it. Will he get the respect out of those other 10 players on the field, right?
I think he's going to have to show something to Michael Thomas, to be totally honest.
Well, Michael Thomas is on a whole nother world right now. Like,
well, I mean, him and Alvin Kamara, I think, run that team. And
I would put more on Alvin running that than Michael. Michael's a crybaby as of lately, it seems like.
You know what? That's probably true. I kind of forgot about last season with a little bit of the fake injury.
Oh, my goodness.
Away from the team stuff. Okay, so then, well, then it's definitely Sean Payton's team on top of
Sean
that.
Payton absolutely, hands down, has a good grip on the team, but he lets them do what he wants. But he knows real quick if he needs to, he can tighten that grip up, and they're like, "Oh, okay."
That's true. That's
They're
true.
doing under the table bounty hunts, but we're not allowed to talk about that. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm okay
that's
with
what
that
makes
too,
that
Bob.
defense run. To be fair, I'm okay with it too. I mean, you play a game, and that's just something you do. Um,
There was a story that came up, and I don't mean to segue. Did you have something else? I'm sorry.
oh no, I was going to segue into something else, but I'm listening to you.
I don't remember who it was, but a player recently came out and was blaming the NFL for CT scans and all these head injuries and stuff like
Oh,
that. I
I
don't
did
remember
read
the
that.
and it I instantly got pissed off because of the fact that you are a player who has played football your entire life. You've trained your entire life to get to the pros. You know what happens in the NFL. You know what happens in football. Pee wee, high school, college, whatever. You hit each other. You know
Right? Yeah,
what
this
takes
is not a
place.
new concept.
It's not like the NFL was out there going, okay, y'all need to hit harder. Y'all need to hit
Right?
each other in the heads harder.
No.
They've made rules to eliminate this,
Right.
right? So to come out and sue and like Dan Marino was one of them when he first came out, he blamed the NFL on his concussions. Like, how are you going to be a Hall of Famer? They gave you everything. They're still writing you a paycheck and oh, well, fuck the NFL because I had so many concussions.
I
Bitch,
mean,
you signed on the dotted line.
I kind of feel like there are certain professions where you just know this is probably not the best health choice that I'm making, but I'm sacrificing the health of my body for money.
How many firefighters sue the fire department because they're like, fuck, dude, I caught fire the other day. I
I
ran into a
mean,
burning building.
I kind of feel like those guys just know it's par for the course. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Nowadays, I'm really not shocked by people suing for anything. I read that story too. I can't remember where I read it or what they were talking
I don't
about
know why, but
specifically.
a former Jacksonville Jaguar comes to mind. Like that same article that you're remembering. I think it was it Blackman, Justin Blackman, that came out with that.
Dude, I don't remember hearing that name. I do remember just kind of scanning through the story and they were talking about CTEs and, you know, causing, drama later on and like health issues later on. I remember reading it, but I didn't put too much stock in it. So I didn't really commit it to memory. Um, now that we're talking about these random stories, full disclosure, last night at the poker table, um, I was plugging the podcast, trying to garner some more support.
Giggity.
And a gentleman sitting next to me, I'm going to call him Vietnam Mike.
Okay.
He's a Vietnamese guy, and his name is Mike. He was telling me that because I talk about sports, I should know that apparently, according to him, in 2010,
Okay.
the NFL, it was argued in front of the Supreme Court that the NFL is actually classified as a sports entertainment industry and not as like an actual sport.
The
And
NFL.
the NFL. And I didn't understand why that was needing to be clarified. And he said it's basically they can call it a sports entertainment industry, and that allows them to predetermine the outcomes of football games. So I was like, what? Like, obviously, clearly, I am attempting to live in the world of sports. Never fucking heard of that, right? So then he sends me this article. He texted it to me while we're sitting there at the table, and it's a blog. Like, what he sent me is a snapshot of somebody's blog where they wrote their opinion. Apparently, this opinion is it's on something called "The Fix Is In," and I don't know if you can see this. Where's my phone? There's like a big red circle.
Yep.
He circled this thing. It says, while we call these leagues sports, they are in fact businesses. Their business is entertainment. The NFL, for one, has actually argued this fact before the Supreme Court as recently as 2010. Being entertainment, the leagues are legally entitled to do what is needed to entertain their audience, such as creation and promotion of certain storylines. Despite arguments to the contrary, this makes the NFL, MLB, NBA, and NHL on par with professional wrestling, in parentheses WWE, as well as circuses, ballets, music acts, and magicians.
So, so now we got Vince McMahon, aka Roger Goodell, writing storylines for the NFL. Is this what they're trying to say?
Right. It's turned into the Wizard of Oz. Don't
Okay.
look at the man behind the counter. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Good God, I can't
So,
talk. I don't know if it's true or not. I tried to look up some research and kind of bring some stuff to the table today, but I just wanted to throw it out there and kind of get your blind reaction to it.
so here's my thing. First off, I'm I believe in sports conspiracy theories. Um,
Yes, you do.
One of my favorite ones of all time is anytime that there's some type of disaster in a major city, some sports team from that major city wins a championship within 1 to 2 years of said incident, depending on how the season falls and so forth, right? I
Yeah.
could go through a list of them, but I'm not going to do it right now. Okay.
Okay.
Second of all, if that was the case, some professional athlete, as we've seen, say in Major League Baseball, will expose it if that was the case, because then they would be handed scripts or, hey, this is how the game's going to be ended and this is how it's going to finish. You're going to have X amount of hits. Or going to give you a gimme ball in the seventh. Like, that's not happening. Okay.
Yeah.
Human nature is still into play on this. So, and you said 2010, correct?
2010 is what the blog
So
says.
part of his blog posting was correct. The only thing that it was is saying that the NFL must be considered 32 separate teams, not one big business. That's what the whole Supreme Court case hearing was, because the NFL at the time was trying to make it to where they're just one big ass business, and that would have meant Roger Goodell would have made fucking billions of dollars,
Right.
right? So that's not saying, from this quick read I did, and there's plenty of pictures on here for me to understand. Um, Nothing in there was saying that it's classified as sports entertainment or what?
Well, so it says, I just did a quick Google search, and it says, so the NFL became sports entertainment, either June 24th, 1922, or August 20th, 1920. If you go by the name it started under, professional sports is entertainment, an activity engaged to entertain the public. So it says here, is the NFL classified as a sport or entertainment? And it says the NFL repeatedly positioned itself legally as sports entertainment, or as a sports entertainment business, not a genuinely contested sport. College football, for example, is legally classified as a collegiate sport.
Okay.
The only other sports entertainment businesses are professional wrestling and roller derby.
Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. In that content or context, that makes a little
Context, yeah.
bit more sense because of the fact that you can't say the NFL is football, how it should be played, because you look at Canadian football, Canadian professional football is different than American National Football League. Then you look at Arena Football League, you look at your minor league football team. So you can't classify it as the sport of football. It's a
Right.
form of football, right?
Well, I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm following you. I don't know. Like this whole thing opens up an entirely new avenue for me. Um, I mean, so after we were talking at the table, he went on to talk about how do you think Vegas gets the line so damn close and blah blah blah. But like,
Math?
I mean, I agree with him to an extent, right? Like, how many times have you seen like, oh, the over under for, I mean, like Detroit and Miami, two teams that are just horrible offensively. Over under is 47. And you're like,
Right.
oh, there's no way they're going to score 47 points. And then they end up scoring 48. Right? And you're like, how the hell? Or they pick, I'm just I'm just throwing names out there, but they picked like St. Louis is going to play Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Carolina's quarterback got hurt, but magically uh, they're only favored by 2.5, and then Carolina ends up covering the 2.5. You're like, how the hell did that happen? You know what I mean? So like it makes an argument, like, or it lends a little bit of light to an argument where it could you could kind of go down the rabbit hole. Um, it was funny because while we were talking about it, the guy next to him was like, "Oh, how much money have you lost on sports betting to make you think that?" You know, and he was like, "Oh no, fuck all that. I don't bet on sports. Blah blah blah. It's all rigged. I know it's rigged." Then I don't know. Then we started talking about Thailand prostitutes. I don't remember how that went, but
Well, this is a much better story
well,
than
yeah. And what's funny is he had a lot more information about Thailand prostitutes, but
is he a pimp? Is he a Thailand pimp?
dude, I don't know. I know he goes to Thailand. That's what he said anyway.
Dude, so my one of my brothers, he's in the Air Force. He went to Thailand one time, and him and his buddy were walking, and one of the Thailand prostitutes said, "I'll give you a psychedelic blowjob. I'll make you see all the colors." I was like, "How many did you get?" He goes, "I couldn't do it. She was 12." Yeah. So
So,
there's
well, yeah, the other guy that was he was Vietnamese also that was there with him. He was talking about when they go to Thailand, yeah, you'll see like an old white dude holding hands with like an 11-year-old boy.
yep.
And they were like, we didn't even know, like, you can go report it to the authorities and nobody gives a shit.
Supposedly they push their younger children onto Americans and tell them not to use a rubber. Again, this is just hearsay. I don't know if it's true. I've never been to Thailand,
Oh my
but they try to
God.
get the child pregnant with an American child so they can come back to the US. Hope that's not true. If that's what's going on, we need to be protesting other things.
Dude,
So,
that's fucking terrible. Holy shit.
um,
Man, let's change the subject.
I am so in favor of our next topic. OU, University of Texas, trying to get into the SEC. I am
Yeah,
so down for this.
um I'm on the fence.
Okay.
I do think that they should leave the Big 12.
Okay.
Um, but I don't think that the SEC is where they should go. Um, the only reason why I say that is because I think the SEC is already bloated. And I read a couple reports where basically they were saying Texas should just go out on its own and they would make more money. They'd be able to recruit better. And then they could schedule whoever they wanted to play. And they weren't bound by any any conference rules or anything
Right.
like that. Now the catch is though is that while they are nationally known, they haven't been worth a shit for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you move them out on their own, are they going to get the notoriety that Notre Dame just instantly comes with? I'm not sure about that.
I I think this is a good push for them to go into SEC because of one main thing, and it's just because I'm a damn Texan. I want to see A&M versus UT games again. I miss those games.
So I'm on the other side of that. I don't give a shit about this game.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, I remember growing up, and that was a must-watch game. And then whenever I got out of high school and was able to attend one of those games at Kyle Field, I've never felt energy like that in any stadium that I've been to. And I'm not a fan of either team, right?
Yeah. No,
It's
I mean,
just
I'm with you. It's like a Texan thing, but
right.
like for me growing up, A&M was always like the stepbrother to Texas.
True.
I know the people that are listening that went to A&M, like I know y'all are going to be mad and you want to be on equal footing and then look what we did when we went to the SEC. Man, fuck all that. No matter what happens, no matter what you do at Texas A&M, Texas will always be the number one
This
school.
is true.
And you will always be the little brother.
Oh,
And the catch is with being the little brother is that you're not even a rival. You're just someone that Texas should just always beat the shit out of. So they don't
Yep.
even care about you. They worry about playing Oklahoma. Oklahoma is the big boy.
well, them coming over too makes it a little bit more interesting, right? Because now we saw them a couple years ago where they were in the playoff system, right? Um, they didn't go to the championship, did they? I don't remember.
I no, because it
I've
was
had a lot of bacon
Clemson.
today. I can't remember.
No, it was
Um,
Clemson and Alabama, right?
uh, yeah,
Yeah. So
they've been the ones in Ohio State, I think, and
yeah, well,
um,
Oklahoma has always been the number 4 team, no matter who
so
they.
I'm good with them doing it because they are another powerhouse that has a lot of transfers that come there. They have the recruiting for it. They make a good fit in it. Now, the only problem on the other side of this is you've made the SEC that much stronger, right?
Right, and that's
Other
why I don't like it.
other conferences talked about why can't we just break away and have a whole separate conference, like whole separate collegiate league, if you will, like the FCS, and now you have the BCS, whatever.
Yeah.
Have them separate because the SEC is getting so powerful, like it's Thanos in the Gauntlet. It almost has all the fucking stones, right?
Right. I mean, I feel like that's what I want to prevent. So the way that I feel college football should go, I think we've talked about this before.
Yes.
You tell me that like U of H has a shot to play for the national title, or Central Florida, or Boise State, or Utah. These teams that have come out of nowhere and thought they had a shot to make the national title game, and then when it comes down to it, they're not enough of a national name. They don't travel well enough. They're not going to make enough money. So either the committee doesn't put them in, or magically the computer doesn't put them in. Right.
Right.
So the way I feel about it is, if you're not going to let those teams have a shot at a national title, then stop going on with this facade that everyone has a shot, and just pick 5 power conferences, like whatever teams that you want them to be, make them geographical, make them all play each other, and then the top 5 division, like whoever wins those divisions or those conferences, they're into a playoff, and then the outlier one team is into the playoffs, or you could even make it the next best 3 teams go into a playoff, and that way you have an 8-team playoff, and you come up with a national title champion, because you're going to keep stringing these teams along, thinking that, like the other year when Texas, or when U of H beat Oklahoma week 1, right?
Yep.
Everybody was like, "Oh, this is U of H's chance." And in the back of everyone's mind, we knew the committee was not going to pick U of H, no matter if they went undefeated or not, because they're not a big draw. Nobody wants to watch U of H.
I,
So
I think the last time U of H was like super popular was when Sumlin was coaching. No, when Tomlin was coaching. Uh,
yeah, that was the last one. That was when they beat
shit.
Oklahoma. And that
Shit.
was what, 6 years ago?
Right.
And I feel like the idea that the NCAA keeps dangling the Twinkie in front of these other teams, thinking, "Oh, you're just out there. You're about to get to a shot. You're
Oh,
never going to get a shot to a
you're gonna
national
have to try
title."
better than that.
Right? You're not going to do it. So they need to stop with the facade, make the 5 power conferences the only ones that are eligible, and have them all play each other.
So I think the more that this has progressed, and I'm speaking more of in terms of the players getting paid, I think that is going to be an advantage for, we'll say, OU and UT in this situation. Okay. So let's just say they go in the SEC, right? They're going to be able to get better recruiting because let me ask you right now, Zach, would you rather go to College Station, a country town, city, but nothing outside? Or would you like to come to the capital of Texas, where it's this massive growing city with so much to offer? And oh, by the way, X, Y, and Z stores that are known to people are paying some of our players, right? Now, don't get me wrong, the same thing's going to be happening at A&M, but it's at a smaller value compared to Austin. Same thing goes for Oklahoma, right? Do you want to go to Oklahoma State and be a Cowboy, or do you want to be a Sooner? Right?
Right.
We're a bigger name. We have all this, blah blah
Right.
blah.
But out of those
That's
three
the only advantage.
well, out of those 3 cities, though, right? Let me ask, if you think about it nationally, how many people do you think have heard of Bryan, Texas?
Probably about the 7 people that are born there.
Okay. How many people do you think have heard of Norman, Oklahoma?
Um, maybe two people. I've never
Okay.
heard of Norman, Oklahoma.
And then how many people have heard of Austin, Texas?
Everybody who went to grade school.
Right. So I feel like if you let Texas into the SEC, I think it hurts LSU. I think it hurts A&M immensely. And then I
Yes.
mean Oklahoma. The deal is that you can't. I don't know if you can tarnish Oklahoma. Granted, Oklahoma is in Norm or Oklahoma University is in Norman. It's a small city, right? Like I understand, but they've been in the national spotlight. They had back-to-back number one
Yep.
draft picks at quarterback. So I mean, in the last 10
Yep.
years, they've done pretty well. Now they haven't won, a national title, but they've been in the dance, right? The only
Yep.
other schools that can say that are Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson. And I mean, those schools are kind of hard to get into, and two of them are in the
Yep.
SEC. So now you're going to tell me next year, if Texas and Oklahoma join the SEC, it's possible that in an 8-team playoff that we're going to go to no matter what, four of those
Is
teams,
it 8 or 12?
well, I don't even know. It might have been 12. But regardless, they're going to expand the playoffs. So you're going to tell me that
Yep.
at least a third of those teams are going to be from the SEC? I mean,
Oh, I
recruiting,
guarantee you, a majority of the teams that are going to be in the playoffs are SEC teams,
yeah.
hands down.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. You
And
put Texas in there, and Texas, they already get 4 and 5 star recruits, and they're not even in the SEC. So now you go to the
right.
SEC, and what's the deal? What everybody says about the Big 12 is that nobody plays any defense. Well, if nobody plays any
Yeah.
defense, but now they're in the SEC, well, now they're going to be able to recruit SEC defensive players, right?
Yep.
So they've already been able to prove that they can have quarterbacks, they can have wide receivers, they have damn good running backs. So,
And
now they
this
can
is
just
going to
start getting
keep
linebackers
a lot of the Texas high school players
in
that want to
Texas.
stay in Texas. Like you mentioned, like a lot of people don't want to go to A&M for whatever reason it may be. Maybe it's their weird traditions that you can't walk on the grass or some shit like that, or they have no cheerleaders, which is weird. And don't fight me on it, Aggies, because I know y'all are out there talking, oh, we got yell leaders. No, you have a bunch of dudes running around trying
Right,
to be
that's
cheerleaders.
not the
Stop.
same thing.
Right?
But I
So
honestly, I think the reason why most people don't want to go to A&M is because they would prefer to go to Texas.
right, because it's a bigger known school because it's in a big city,
Yeah,
right? And that appeals to a lot of people who come from small towns and they were the best player in their 3A division
yeah,
or whatever, right? Like
yeah.
why stay in a country when I can go to the big city and make a name for myself and get all the tang I want?
I mean, that is a pretty good selling point. So,
God, I
um,
should go be a rep for UT,
dude, I was gonna say, are they hiring recruiters? Because I will sign up.
right?
But I mean, I don't know. Then on top of that, they're talking about, well, if the SEC absorbs Texas and Oklahoma, maybe they kick somebody out. And
Who?
so I don't know. But then I was thinking, well, if they kick somebody out, then the Big 12, what if the Big 12 recruited U of H? Does that help them get a shot at a national title if they're any good?
Nope.
No, because there's nobody else in the Big 12.
No. I
I mean, it would be
and
Baylor and fucking TCU
Tech,
and Tech
Oklahoma
and
State,
Oklahoma State.
Iowa,
Yeah,
Nebraska.
that doesn't sound like a winning tradition.
Right. And now you're going to go ahead and grab these like dumpster fires from the All American Conference
Yeah.
and throw
I
them in
mean,
there.
look, don't send me the hate mail because I said, Tech is a dumpster fire, but I'm a Tech fan and
Oh, like
they're not a national
100%.
title contender.
The
Sorry.
couple of years that Baylor shocked the world too, I was a fan then. Like,
Yeah. Watching RG3 play for Baylor, that was great.
absolutely. But
It's
outside
just
of that, the
not.
Big 12 is a laughing stock of, I don't know if they're the laughing stock of the college conferences,
Without
but
Oklahoma and Texas, they are. That's
I
a
don't
pretty
know.
big hit to the Big 12.
I I think I want to see him go there because I'm greedy and I want the UT A&M battles again. But I do love how the internet is blowing up and they're making it seem like A&M is so scared about UT coming into the
I would
SEC.
be. They're the only
Oh,
Texas team in the SEC.
God, they're going to fucking take everything away from them. And like you said, they're going to take everything away from LSU as
Well,
well.
well, I don't know if they're going to take everything away from LSU. I'm just saying that it makes it easier to recruit against LSU.
Hey, do you want to go to the
LSU,
swamp and fight gators and mosquitoes the size of your fist, or do you want to come to UT?
well, so I mean, LSU has at least a winning tradition. A&M does not.
This is
Yeah.
true. They
So
haven't won a national championship since what, 1939, when there
uh,
were like 3 teams in the
right, like
conference?
their coach was Bear Bryant back in the day. So like my thing is that right now A&M has a stranglehold on recruiting because they're the only SEC team in Texas.
True.
But yeah, you bring in the Longhorns, A&M needs to watch out. Honestly, if this is me, if I was A&M, I would fight hard to not have Texas come in. But if I was Texas, I would have the SEC throw A&M out so that I could come in.
Oh, dude, you know A&M's Booster Club, they're all the alumni are throwing millions of dollars to make this not happen.
Oh yeah. They do
Millions.
not want to see this.
I wish we would get some of those alumni to throw millions our way.
Dude, for real. Yeah.
Dude, they throw millions at us. I'm talking great about A&M from here on out.
Oh yeah, I'll say whatever you want. I'll send my
Yeah,
kids there.
Johnny Manziel was the best quarterback ever.
I won't go that far. But anyway, man, I feel like that was a good show, dude.
Absolutely.
We crapped on some A&M fans.
We're about to get a lot of hate mail, but I'm okay with that. That's part of the job.
Yeah, I crapped on a guy who writes a blog for the Eagles.
I bet he uses coloring books a lot.
I mean, maybe. I think he might eat crayons. And then we talked about maybe the best wide receiver in the game retiring because of a vaccine. It's a
RIP,
crazy
dude.
world we're living in, man.
But you know what? It's keeping us employed.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know about employed.
Well,
We're at least
you know
getting to
what I
talk
mean.
about some shit and have a little bit of fun.
Bro, dude, first off, as always, can't thank the fans enough. Y'all are great. Y'all are always begging for more. We're trying to give it, but again, hobby podcast, you get what you paid for.
Exactly. Like, this is just free shit, man.
Shout out to Tim T for his shout outs and helping us out.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit us up on all social media. We're on the TikTok with my energy drink reviews and what else we got going on?
Yeah, I don't know. If I could figure out how to do the damn TikTok thing, I would do some water tastings just to make fun of you.
What the hell is this TikTok thing? Where do I tick and talk?
Yeah, I just watch the videos. I don't know how to do anything on there yet.
I'm gonna get hate. It's Tim B, not Tim T. So
Oh yeah, Tim B.
Tim B
Yeah.
for the monster shout out.
And then a little shout out to Vietnamese Mike from the poker room.
Vietnamese Mike needs
Told
to
me
be
I
a
wouldn't
regular
talk
on
about-
the show.
Told me I wouldn't talk about the NFL being rigged. We talked about it. So suck it.
And shout out to everybody that's interacting with us on Facebook with our stupid questions and polls and all that other shit. We're trying to get shit rolling for y'all. We know y'all want it.
Yeah.
We're just teasing y'all with the tip right now, but don't worry. You're about to get 2 inches of pain.
Oh yeah. 2 inches at 900 miles an hour, baby.
Shit. You're going to feel something.
Yeah, something.
As always, don't forget to follow us on all things social media, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter. I don't know if we're on Snapchat. That's a weird thing to be on nowadays.
We're not on Snapchat because that's
Okay.
like teeny bopper shit.
Right. Hey, next time you're getting your oil changed, don't forget to tell your mechanic about us and let him know, hey, I know you are bored down there changing out my fluids, giggity. Why don't you go ahead and give these guys an old listen,
Yeah.
right?
Hey, and next time you're at a house party before the cops get called, somebody hands you the auxiliary cable, plug us in, man. Put
Bro,
us
we
on.
need to
Blast
have one
us
of those
loud.
parties. We haven't had one of those parties in a while.
Been a minute. I miss those times.
Anyways, this is Two Wannabe Athletes Talk Sports. I'm Ed,
I'm Zach.
and we'll see you next time, assholes.
Always the GOAT.